más bello vivir cantando. Oh, ay, no hay que llorar, que la vida es un carnaval y las penas se van cantando.
Welcome everyone. We were giving a few minutes for everyone to join us and log in. Chris Bailey here, President CEO for the Latin American Chamber of Commerce here in Charlotte. I want to welcome each and every single one of you to our Hora Feliz. That we're halfway through the year. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. And I want to share a couple of things with you. Number one, please introduce yourself in the chat box if you have not done so already. We will be sending you a list of everyone who was here in the chat box list so that you can connect. This is our new way of handing our business cards, right? Also, during this time, because it is a Hora Feliz, when you hear next slide, please go ahead and take a sip of whatever you're drinking. I happen to have something in my beautiful glass here. Whatever you're drinking today, whether it be tea, coffee, wine, beer, whatever you're drinking, please take a sip when you hear next slide, please. And one announcement that I do want to make is this. June, we're going to be celebrating Pride Month with our chamber with our other chamber, the LGBT chamber and other chambers here in Charlotte. And we're going to have a live event at the Ace Hotel rooftop. So please stay tuned for that. We'll have more details coming your way. I hope that we will be able to see some of you there. It's open and free to all of our members, and it'll be a great opportunity for us to see each other in person. So that will be one event that is coming up in June. Now, we've had a successful May month. We've been doing a lot of seminars on how to do business with the federal government, how to do business with CMS. We had one today and we had a great turnout. Those are recorded if anybody needs them or wants to see them. And in June, we're going to start gearing up for everything that we are going to be doing in the fall. And that includes our entrepreneurial hub. That includes our cultivating talent signature program that we're developing. And that includes our e-commerce platform. So stay tuned for that. And it also includes a marketing campaign that we are starting and launching called Changing the Narrative for our Latinx community. So please stay tuned for that. I just wanted to give you a sneak peek of what we're working on. So today what we're going to do is that we're going to have Andrew Davila and Erica Shorty from Charlotte Works, and they're going to be presenting on engagement, empowerment, and employment. We know that a lot of people are looking for employment and a lot of employers are looking for employees. So they're going to be speaking on that subject. And then we're going to be breaking off into networking. sessions. You know, Debbie's going to whisk us away, right? And we're going to end our Hora Feliz today with a raffle at the end. So please stay tuned for that raffle at the end. So now I want to introduce, next slide, please. Everybody. I want to introduce, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Andrew Davila. He's been a very great partner here at the Chamber, and Erica Shorty from Charlotte Works, Senior Business Engagement Manager, Andrew Davila, and Business Engagement Manager, Erica Shorty. Please, guys, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Grace. And I'm going to thank you all for allowing us to be here today to talk to everyone about our valuable resources that we have for both job seekers and for businesses. So as I'm sharing my screen, again, my name is Andrew Davila. I'm the Senior Business Engagement Manager for Charlotte Works. And I'm going to be presenting today with Erica Shorty. Erica Shorty is our Business Engagement Manager who works with me very closely in our business engagement team. And so today we're going to talk to you all a little bit about and share with you Charlotte Works and our business resources. So I believe I may have, do I have my screen up correctly? Thank you. All right, so Charlotte Works is the Workforce Development Board for Mecklenburg County. And as such, we connect job seekers, employers. We help build a stronger workforce by providing occupational skills, training and work opportunities to adults and youth, all while championing inclusive economic growth. How we do that is we oversee operations of 2 career centers, Milk Alpine Drive Park and Forest Point Boulevard. Now, if you don't know what NC Works is, it's okay. Most people know of us, and we're affectionately known in the community as the unemployment office, right? We know the unemployment office, right? But you know, the rebranding of this is we really are a career center. The claims that are done with unemployment insurance and are all done online these days or by phone. So our career center really tries to connect employers with job seekers. And we try to do so in as quickly as possible. And we do this at no cost. We do this at no cost to our employers and to our job seekers. So you may be wondering, how do we do that? Our program is funded through the Department of Labor. Our funding goes through us at Charlotte Works, and we administer that at our career centers. We provide job seekers opportunities to get upskill training or reskilled training in areas that are in demand for the Charlotte region. Occupations in demand might be transportation, logistics. For one example, we have scholarships for individuals to obtain training to get their CDL license, or IT training, or in construction to be a project manager. So the big 5 solutions that you see here are really just our buckets of resources and services. The 5 buckets here, you'll see those, information and research. Data is very important these days. Everything that we do is driven by data. So we're able to provide information to companies. Specifically, one piece of data that we find of importance is wage rate information. Since we are such advocates for economic mobility, we want our local employers to know what a livable wage is, and knowing that they're competitive with other employers. So that wage rate information is valuable. I talked earlier about the scholarship opportunities. So that second bucket you'll see is training enhancement. We do have those scholarship dollars. In this bucket, it's called customized transitional training. Again, those individuals that have been laid off, we provide these opportunities for them to get reskilled. We all know that the hospitality industry was hit pretty hard during this COVID season. We have reskilled and trained some of these individuals into IT positions. So that's one way we were able to help these individuals get retrained. Recruiting and sourcing is one area that we really help our local businesses get connected to talent. And Erica is going to talk to us a little bit about that. Rapid response. One of the things I always tell employers is hopefully we never have to come out and do rapid response. Rapid response is a service that we provide to employers who are facing a mass layoff. And during the COVID season, we did have to deploy some of our services. But again, we really tried to help those individuals facing the layoff find employment quickly. So it is a great service that we provide. And then that last bucket is retention. We advise and provide counseling consultations to employers on how to retain current employees. We all know it's important to hire a good employee, but it's even more important to keep them. And in the climate that we're in, with the labor shortage that we're seeing, you as an employer, it's really important to hold on to your employees. Right? So I am going to the next slide, please. And I'm going to pass it over to Erica.
I see what you did there, Andrew. So what we really love to do is the recruitment assistance. And I help typically with a lot of the recruitment assistance. And I'll talk to you a little bit about what we have as a tool that you all can utilize through recruitment. So the business services team, which we're a part of, will customize your talent recruitment efforts to maximize the best possible outcome. So we assist in areas like virtual on and off-site hiring events, free space to accommodate candidate interviews, targeted and community-wide job fairs, and candidate searches and referrals. So one of those things is like a talent source network, which is something that I'm the main point contact for. We talk to businesses who have opportunities, and with those opportunities, I will reach out to our community partners of the network to see how we can get you the talent and fill the opportunities that you have available. So that's one way we're able to assist with recruitment assistance. Next slide, please. So with the Talent Source Network, as I mentioned, we endeavor to accomplish identify employer needs with clarity, identify current open positions, identify qualified and employment-ready candidates within our partner organizations, match qualified candidates to these positions, and we also track progress and results. This is the main part of the Talent Source Network because then we're able to give feedback to job seekers on what they're doing great and what they possibly need to work on. And this helps us to empower our job seekers as they're on their journey in trying to find sustainable job and a new career. So Talent Source Network is also available for you all. And any questions that you have, we will get to those questions towards the end of the presentation. Next slide, please. Hire a veteran. So if you're looking to improve your organization's veteran hiring practices, we can connect you to qualified veterans to fill your open positions. So the NC Works Career Centers and the Veteran Services Team, they'll provide career seeker services for veterans, transitioning service members, and eligible spouses. The state's official job search website is NC Works Online, but it gives veterans access to job postings for 24 hours before they're made available to the general public, and along with access to training opportunities, job fairs, and workshops. So again, really making sure that we are a resource to our veterans who have fought for this country. So we want to make sure that we're providing wraparound services. And again, the key here is not just for our veterans, but for their families as well. Next slide. Youth work experience. This is very near and dear to me. I'm a mom. I know the importance of being able to provide youth work experiences to our youth through real world career education opportunities and experiences. Local employers like you help develop the skills of qualified future employees, and our region's students gain value, career awareness, and preparation. So things like work-based learning opportunities. Typically, when people hear work-based learning opportunities, they automatically think internships, but it's so much more than that. There's classroom speaking. There are employers who may not be able to give an internship due to resources, but you can give your time talking to them about how you got in your industry, what did your journey look like, how long did you go to school? All of that information is very valuable to students and things that they need to know. Career days, job shadows, workplace tours. I know getting into an actual workplace is a little difficult these days due to COVID regulations, and I know that things are starting to open back up, but I gotta hand it to the employers right here in Mecklenburg County who have started to do things like virtual workplace tours. Really cool, really neat being able to show a student what it looks like from the inside and how it's like to work in their establishment. And then of course you have your typical work-based learning experiences like internships, apprenticeships, which is your learn while you earn experiences, and then your cooperative education. And I will kick it over to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Erica. And so, as you know, that these work-based learning opportunities is a great way to expose our youth into what we do. You as an employer, your particular role, what your industry, whatever the case is, it's a great way to expose our youth. We also have an adult work experience. Our adult work experience program allows the same type of work-based learning opportunities for an adult. And typically, an adult utilizing this program might have a gap in their work history, or might be a second chance population that we're working with. Because we are working and advocate for second chance populations, we advocate for those with disabilities. Really, again, our mission is to help connect our residents of the Mecklenburg County area with meaningful employment. With this particular adult program, our career centers paid 100% of the wages of an individual that's on the job and learning. Again, at no cost to you as the employer. Our individual that is on your job work site, they're learning valuable work skills. How to be on time, how to communicate with the supervisors, how to work as a team. With the labor shortage that we are experiencing right now, employers are learning the need to take a chance on the second chance population. So this is a great way to introduce someone to the workforce while there's no cost to the employer. These training funds can be funneled through other means, which we have other programs. So we have trainings that are your typical training, your scholarship dollars. They're learning in the class, they're learning online, whatever the case is. That is your occupational skills training. It leads to some type of industry recognized credential. Again, your project management, your CDL license. Then we have on-the-job training. This is different from work experience because on-the-job training, this is a reimbursement program. So the employee is an actual employee of the company. They're on the payroll. They're receiving benefits just like anybody else. However, on the back end, you're receiving a reimbursement as the employer of about 50% of the wages of this new employee. Contracts can last anywhere about 6 months, but the training is valuable. We know that the first 6 months of training a new employee is the most expensive. So this helps offset those costs. We also have what is called an Upskill Charlotte training program, and this is for current employees. Our programming can reimburse an employer such as yourself to send an employee to training. If you have a current employee that could use Microsoft Office skills upgrades, if you want them to send them to this type of training, our program will reimburse the employer. Our team works very much hand in hand to help you go through the process of completing the application, and we try to keep it as simple as possible. Again, on-the-job training is a work-based learning opportunity, reimburses 50%. Upskill training is for current employees that either helps them retain the job that they currently have or helps stimulate growth within your company. Again, keeping in mind, upward mobility is very, very important to us and to our community. And so now I'm going to kick it over to Erica.
Thanks, Andrew. So how does an employer qualify for an OJT or an Upskill Charlotte grant? That's a question that we get quite often from employers. First part of the criteria, they must operate year-round, have low employee turnover, pay an hourly wage or salary at a reasonable level for the OJT occupation, a minimum of $12 an hour must be the pay, reimbursable wage cap at $30 an hour, a physical location in Mecklenburg County, and realize the benefits of investing in their employees. So those are some of the typical questions that we get. It's like, how do I qualify? What do I do to get access to these grants? Here are the basics to apply. Okay. Next slide. Y'all should not be thirsty right now. We've given you guys way too many opportunities today to take a sip. And next steps, contact us, use our services. Again, if you're interested in utilizing any of these services, this is at no cost to anyone. A member of our team will work with you to create customized solutions for your workforce needs. Maybe you're an employer that has opportunities, but you need the talent. Let us know. We can get you connected and talk through with you about our talent source network or how we can get a recruitment effort surrounding your opportunities. Maybe it is that grant. Let's walk you through if you're qualified, and if so, how to apply for those training dollars. So that is how you can contact us. info@charlotteworks.com, or you can just stop by our website, www.charlotteworks.com. And you can contact us there from the website. It'll come to us and we can get you where you need to be. So I know that we've had a couple of questions in the chat, and I've been working to answer some of those while Andrew was presenting. So at this moment, we would like to open the floor for any questions that you all may have, and we will answer to the best of our ability.
I have a question.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Erica? My name is Maxine. So I have a lot of things kind of swirling in my mind, so it might be something that we'd have to take offline, but I just had a few questions. So if someone had a business, they're an independent contractor, and they like to sub out work. So it's not necessarily that they're able to offer benefits, but they can offer, pay obviously for the work. Is that something that they would have to qualify for? I have kind of two buckets, because I also have a client that she has a cleaning business, and I know that she's ramping up to do some hiring.
Mhm.
And we've kind of been doing it between me and her. I'm a virtual assistant, so I've kind of been helping her. And she's kind of brought in some like outside tools and apps and things like that. But I would love to see if there's a way that we can get her to sit down with you guys and see how maybe you can help her instead of us trying to figure it all out and create a new wheel when you guys already have these processes.
Absolutely. I think the first line of business, and Andrew, you can kind of jump in as well, would be to do a consultation with her and just kind of get some great feedback on, what her needs are exactly, so that we can get her to the right place. We've had businesses that, could fit for all of our services. So, we're starting a hiring project, but then, they're taking advantage of, our training grants and things of that nature. So I think the first line of business would be to have a consultation with her.
Okay.
To get down to the bottom of what her needs could be. And it could be all of our services, and that would be awesome, right? That would be ideal. But I think, yes, we can take that offline and just kind of have a meeting with her to see what we can do to help. Andrew, did you have any additional?
Actually, Erica, you hit that right on the head. If Maxine, if you want to get us connected, we can have that consultation, sit down directly and talk about what we can, what we can't, and how we can help if we can't. So we definitely would like to take that offline.
Awesome. And so you also, the other first part was, do you do help like independent contractors that are hiring out, like to, I'll give you an idea of what the business is. It's a bread route business. And so it's owned by someone, but they would love to have someone else run it. And, the person would provide training and stuff like that. So we've kind of been doing it on our own, like on Indeed, but would love to have someone like you guys come in and really help us with that process. So is that something that you guys offer?
So it does get a little tricky with contracting.
Okay.
So there is a difference between the W-2 employees versus the 1099 employees. And so without getting too far into the details, there's potential for some complication, but we can definitely provide other alternatives to providing support, whether it be for talent acquisition or if it's business mentoring. There are a lot of ways we can help without direct program services.
Okay, great. Like helping with, finding best place for hiring and stuff like that. Okay.
Correct.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. This is so good.
You're welcome. I see we have two hands up. I don't know who raised their hand first, so I do apologize in advance. But I see John unmuting. Hi, John.
Oh, hi. But Tiara went first. She was there first. I'll cede the microphone to her.
Such a gentleman, John.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, John. Muchas gracias. Hi. My question is regarding the actual training component of the services that you all offer. Are the folks who train in-house with Charlotte Works, or do you all contract that work out?
Great question. So the training is not done in-house. Our training are scholarship dollars. So we do have training providers that are officially approved on the ncworks.gov website. These approved training providers have certifications. The programs that they train in lead into industry recognized credentials. So there's a vetting process for that. The training that we do in-house really has to do more with job readiness workshops and job readiness training, but not really the occupational skills training.
And so if someone were interested in potentially being one of those providers, I'm just connected to a couple of businesses that I have in mind. How might they get connected to see if they're a good fit for the organization?
Another great question. They can go to our website at the charlotteworks.com. We have the training provider link for them to apply to be on our approved training provider list. And then, of course, if you just want to email us, we'll definitely get them connected as well and help provide some more step-by-step directions on how to get to the approval process.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Now, John, you've got it.
Okay, my turn now. Two questions. now I understand NC Works is all of North Carolina. Is that correct? Not just Mecklenburg, not just Charlotte. So people outside of our local area can sign in and search for jobs as well.
Correct.
That is correct.
Okay, great. So I learned something new. The second question is, because we have a lot of immigrants in the Latinx community, there's always this issue of transferability of degrees and education from the old country. And then for example, I bring my skills here, but I don't know if it'll be accepted. Do you have counseling or along those lines to say, well, you need to do this, this, and that in order to make your skills transferable to a job here?
Wonderful question, John. I know we just had some conversation around this. I don't know if it was last week. I think there was a forum and discussion around that. One of our employer partners, they work with us very closely, and they do have a resource that they provided for us, but it was in the medical field, in helping their current employees transfer their credentials. However, as a whole, we do not really have that connection right now. But that is something that we're looking to gain, because we do know how critical that is.
Right.
Jim, I see your hand. Is this in relation to the same topic? Okay.
Yeah, well, those that don't know me, most of you do. I'm Jim Watson with Southeastern Carpenters Regional Council. Erica, great to see you, even though I see you in new glasses every time I see you. Between myself and Efren, and some of y'all also know Mark, who help us out as well, a good number of the Latino immigrants we see them every day, are very skilled in the crafts, whether it's carpentry or things that we love to and are excited about is not just give a written test on your skills as a knowledge in areas, but also in hands-on with the Carpenters Union. And so, just so that you know that if somebody has skills, they can come to us and we can, not have to take someone in and just directly. But we've taken it probably in the last 6 months, probably about 50 or so members straight in as a journeyman, because they were able to provide, not just knowledgeable skills on a written test, but hands-on. So they've had to not had to go through our 4-year apprenticeship. So, those that can actually show us hands-on, we've got those evaluations in not just scaffolding, but in interior systems, metal studs, drywall, concrete, any gamut of the carpentry field, we can do those hands-on and get people, and our wages are going out on jobs around, $24, $25 an hour plus benefits, which really means they're getting paid about $34 an hour on a journeyman scale. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, Jim. Fernando, do you have a question, comment? And then Douglas, I still see your hand up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a little bit in the line also with John, but this is more like as I came here to the US as an international student, and also my school didn't even know what to do when I graduated. So my question is more like, is there some support to international students to seek possible working visas, and also training to companies about the different visas and processes to hire international workers and its possible benefits?
Fernando, another wonderful question. Personally, I have not worked with the, I guess, obtaining work visas. Is that something that you are looking to obtain? Do you know where to go, how to obtain that type of?
It is like because as when I graduated, we didn't know, but there was a process that once you study here in the US more than 1 year, you're eligible to have a working visa for 1 year. But even in my school, they didn't know that. But once we applied and we had the working visa, most of the companies were like, I don't even know if this is like illegal or how long or how does this work. So most of the companies were, I cannot hire you because then I don't know what to do with you. So if there is something that like a Charlotte Works can do, or like a work with the students or even the schools.
No, and that's a great comment, because I have actually just started to get connected to a representative from the city of Charlotte that does work with the immigration population on reskilling and getting certified. And so those are definitely topics and issues that we're trying to address. So thank you for bringing that to our attention.
And I would jump in really quick to say this too, Fernando. Us being an advocate and working with employers and letting them know, like, hey, these are the needs. This is what they need. This is what we need in order for them to get hired. Charlotte Works, and I've seen it in action where we have worked with countless people that have, you know, they need the resources and the scenarios to work in their favor to go to work. So we work as that advocate. So I do want to ensure, just like Andrew was saying, you know, we are working with organizations and trying to collaborate on how we can make this a better process, because we recognize this is something that it is hindering when trying to become employed. So absolutely. And Douglas, I see you with your hand up as well.
Yeah, so I've got like 5-10 questions, but I'm gonna do one, and if you know you say go for the next one, I'm gonna let you dictate that. By the way, I love the glasses, so let me put that out there. So you know, my question is based on the staffing needs, right? So I own a staffing company. We run a lot of volume, a lot of headcount. We do a lot of work with seasonal jobs, but at the same time, we do a lot of work with long-term jobs. And one of my long-term customer, we manage that workforce for them. And so we've reached out to several programs. So I guess I'll start off with saying one of my wish list items would be, can I have a contact within your office, whether that's you or Andrew or somebody else, where it won't be passed on and we're like kind of left in that void of, hey, what other support can we do? And we got to start over. That's happened a couple of times. But saying that, I say we have a customer that is, we've gotten to this point where we're completely open to the second chance program, to the retooling, the reskilling. We've even started talking about, you know, youth training programs that we're running for them. So as their managed service provider, we're actually responsible for bringing in 600-700 people to the facility, of which about between 100-150 get hired on permanent every single year as they continue to expand. So, you know, when we talk about seasonal work, these are not contractors, they're not seasonal, you know, we're going by the determinations of Department of Labor. These are people that are working 8-9 months at a time to say, you know, did you show up? Did you do your work? You know, decent pay, good pay, great overtime. Offering benefits, et cetera, et cetera. How can a staffing company partner with MC Works, Charlotte Works, to bridge those gaps? Historically, prior to COVID, it was kind of like, you know, hey, Goodwill does their thing, then, you know, staffing does their thing, then MC Works does their thing. So being in the environment that we are, exploring all kinds of visas to bring in labor from other countries, which we don't want to do because we have a labor force here. How do we tap into that? You know, how do we, not necessarily saying we need you to pay for their wages, because we have an employer that's willing to pay the wages. So how do we partner on that front?
A good question.
Thank you, Douglas. Yeah, thank you for that. And so pre-COVID, with some of our staffing companies that we've worked with, or temporary agencies or third parties, whatever you might want to call that, we do have services that are available as far as talent acquisition. pre-COVID, and we're getting ready to reopen here soon. Our career centers are, but the companies are able to come into our office to recruit from the walk-in talent that we do have. That come into our office. Either they're receiving unemployment insurance benefits and they come in to receive those career counseling services, or if they're coming into our offices for the computer resource center, or to generally get connected to employment opportunities. So companies are able to utilize that service. Also, companies are able to post positions on NC Works as well to do some recruiting and sourcing there as well. But one of the greatest ways was for an employer to come into our office to do that in-house recruiting. That was our in-house hiring events. We also have had job fairs in the past that were out in the community, working in and around some of the populations that are underserved. Or we also have online hiring events as well. So that's just a couple of different ways that we have worked with placement agencies. And of course, the placement agencies that have a good record of placements that turn into long-term employment, those are the type of agencies that will allow to repeat and have continued services.
Awesome, thank you. And I know, again, right, for example, right now, when we're talking about the retooling, we're, for this specific customer, we're responsible for hiring, training, everything for them. And so our immediate need right now is, for example, 15 receiving clerks that know Excel, basic math, turn on a computer, data entry, that sort of thing. And as simple as that may seem to some of us on the call, that is very challenging for a huge portion of the labor force trying to get into that. So if we were to say, hey, Andrew, we'd love for you to find us those 15 people that we can retool, retrain, and then even with zero experience, get them into this client so that they can have a long-term. How do we approach that front with accessing your tools and the training components and that sort of thing?
So again, first thing we can do is you can reach out to Erica and I. Again, our info at, or we actually will put our contact information in the chat as well, and we can start those conversations. But we do have our business services staff within our career centers that will work a little bit more closely with obtaining that talent. Can be even our youth programs, depending on the type of position that it is. Some of our youth programming also are looking for these type of, it sounded more of like a clerical positions, entry-level admin. Some of our youth programming participants are seeking these types of opportunities as well.
Awesome. And internally, we always open up every single year to bring in interns, fresh, new entry-level people to learn the industry, train them how to recruit, understand, employment practices, Department of Labor standards, laws, all that stuff. So if you ever come across anyone that says, I really want to get into more of a professional role, we're always happy to look at somebody like that as well.
Douglas, I'm going to remember that you said that, because we've got a host of young adults, 18 to 24, who have no idea that that's even an avenue for them. So it's not so much of a skills gap, it's an interest gap, because they don't know, oh, I can be a recruiter, I can be a corporate recruiter. What does that entail? So having you to talk to our youth program would be ideal. I would say 16 to 24, starting to prepare them in high school about what a career in recruiting looks like. So I'm going to remember you, Douglas, because I know that our youth and young adults, they need that work experience and that work-based learning experience. So we'll have to schedule some time for you to at least talk to them, maybe through Zoom now.
Yeah.
And then once you start opening up through internships and things like that, we can provide that opportunity for them as well.
Oh yeah, we're currently in that process right now. You'd be amazed. We had 6 no-shows the past 2 weeks. And we have 2 that are coming in tomorrow, one from Winthrop University, another one from CPCC. So again, we're completely open. And the beautiful thing about it is, you know this, I mean, you understand Department of Labor, you understand risk management, all of that. So within that short time frame, the skills that you add to a resume are just phenomenal. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Debbie, I think I'm going to kick it back over to you. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew and Erica, for joining us today and giving us all this valuable information. I hope that you guys reach out to them in case you need their assistance. And we are going to be transitioning into our networking portion of the evening. So hopefully you're in a room with Erica or Andrew if you have any additional questions. We are going to have 2 networking sessions. The first one is 12 minutes and the second one's also 12 minutes. But for everybody watching us live right now, this is where the live transmission will end. If you want to benefit from the networking opportunities in the future, make sure that you register online to be a part of the Zoom meeting. But this is where it's going to cut off for now. And then for everybody on here, we are going to go away into networking land, and I will bring you back and give you time updates. So no worries about that.